Hey everybody, definitely Zen here. How is everybody doing today? I'm putting up my name right there. I forgot to put up my name. Anyways, I am not the show. I don't want to be the show today, but I want to invite you to the show, okay? So I'm just doing like pre-show, run through previews, and I wanted to share what we're doing today, just like a preview and call and invite everybody into this show right now. If you're in your car, maybe you could just, put it as like a podcast. If you're in the toilet and probably sitting on the seat, I don't know. Okay, we all do that. Don't be shy. Admit it. Raise your hands. I do that. Anyways, just, you can always tune in wherever you are. So that's the beauty of having this show wherever. Anyways, welcome everybody to the show. That is the pre-show for our upcoming May event called SOW Victory Fest. Just a quick, kind of housekeeping. Want to share a little bit of information about the show. I know we're supposed to start, but I'm going to take 30 seconds to tell you a little bit about what this is all about. So if you're wondering what in the world is SOZAF, so that's short for Strong, Optimistic Women. And yes, it's a time for us to come together, women, and gather and celebrate. Oh my God, sorry. Celebrate people, trailblazers, female trailblazers of past, present, and future. That said, I'm really excited. All right. If you want to get more information, go to that website right there, SOWvictory.com, May 10th to 12th. It's called SOW Victory Fest. And today in this particular episode, we're going to, feature one of the 4 tracks. The conversation comes from one of the 4 tracks featured at the event. It's mental health and wellness. And we have 2 co-hosts from our team who will be speaking today. So I'm really excited. All right, I'll see you on the other side in about 1 minute. See you in a bit, everybody. Here we go. All right. I'm excited, everybody. If you're here for the first time, say hello in the chat. Let us know that you're tuning in to the kickoff show of SOW Victory Fest. And if you're wondering what in the world that is, SOW Victory Fest is a gathering of, women who are going to celebrate. So let me just kind of read this from my website because I can't remember everything, right? So let me share the website. Here we go. So the website says SOW Victory Fest is a global gathering of strong, optimistic women coming together to elevate women, create more equitable and empowered world, and celebrate the victories of female trailblazers, past, present, and future. And in this episode, we're so excited to have 2 of our team members co-hosting this episode. The topic is from one of our 4 featured tracks, mental health and wellness. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about supporting mental health, going from burnout to brilliance. If you're anything like me, there are days I feel burned out, but don't listen to me. Let's bring up these 2 gals who I love so much. We're all colorful people because we love being victorious. So I'm gonna bring up the first person, Dr. Davia Shepherd. She's in the house. Let me find where she is. Boom! Here you go. She's like, Zap, did you have 3 cups of coffee today? No, not yet. The other person I would like to bring on to the show who's co-hosting with Dr. Davia is Barb Pritchard. Hello! People often ask me how many cups of coffee I've had, and I tell them none. They go like, I want what you're on. I'm like, okay. That said, ladies, I'm really excited to kind of get this going. behind the scenes, like you asked me, Dr. Davia, if we're like you're the guinea pigs. I'm like, no, you're the trailblazers. So you're the trailblazers for this kickoff pre-show. Whoop, whoop. That's it, ladies. Let's take like 30 seconds around the room and start introducing ourselves so that our viewers get a chance to get to know you a little bit more. Dr. Davia, why don't you kick us off?
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Davia Shepherd. I host a women's group called Ladies Power Lunch, and we're really committed to the idea of women supporting women in an intentional and aligned way. I truly believe that when we come together to collaborate, that we can achieve amazing things.
Boom. That said, we have Barb. Go on, Barb.
Hey there, friends. I'm Barb Pritchard, CEO of Infinity Brand Design. I'm from Funkytown, Texas. It's just Fort Worth, but it sounds so much cooler. I help my clients, spiritual entrepreneurs, own their magic and look like the abundance they manifest through soul-aligned branding, websites, book covers, and launches. And I love what I do because I get to infuse spirit with strategy and just help everybody raise their vibe. So much fun.
Love it. Raise your vibe, raise your hands. We want to be victorious. Whoop, whoop. I see a few people tuning in. If you're tuning in, please say hello. Uh, there's people watching. If you're here, let us know where you're tuning in from so we can do a proper shout out. That said, we are talking today about the topic of mental health and wellness, and it's titled Supporting Mental Health, Going from Burnout to Brilliance. I would love to kind of let Dr. Davia to start us off, and I'll be right back. Enjoy.
So, Zeph will be right back after these messages. But I really thought that it would be important for us to dive into this conversation of mental health by talking a little bit about stress and burnout because there's something that I've noticed, and it is that as women, we tend to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. We're kind of the do it alls of the world. We're doing all the things. We're working, we're taking care of our families, we're doing our side hustle. You name it, we have got it under control. But a lot of the times, and Barb, you can chime in here, a lot of the times we leave our own self care on the back burner. So we're taking care of everybody and everything else, but sometimes we leave ourselves behind. Have you noticed this with not necessarily yourself, but certainly if you have an experience, you can feel free to share. But have you noticed this with other women as well?
Absolutely. Even with myself, with our peers and cohorts, absolutely. We just have a heart for giving. We want to give, 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 but we forget or we put ourselves on the back burner. And we're just so drained and just deflated. We don't have anything else to give for ourselves. And what do you do, right?
We're always saying that, we should not pour from an empty cup. And I've tried pouring from an empty cup. It's been pretty impossible. If you guys figure out how to do that, feel free to let me know. But
Okay.
Zeph, how about you? Like, have you ever had this experience where you look and you say, you know what, I'm doing too much?
Yes. And that's the reason why I jumped back on screen because I said, you know what? I could share a little.
Well, do you have a
I,
story that might be helpful for our friends who might be
yes.
watching?
Oh my God. I'm having a little bit of Zaf Goosey's moment right now. So, for all of you tuning in, this is a story that you might remember. And at that time it didn't feel like it was funny, until a few years later because I was like, oh, it, it's funny now. It wasn't that. So what happened was I was so burned out, right? When I started my business, I was so burned out. I was go go go, push push push. I didn't really take a day off, and to me a day off, like, if I'm not making money, then maybe, I don't want a day off. That was the mindset then. So back in 2013, what happened was fall 2013. Oh my God, I'm having goosies, not kidding, if you can see it. Back in 2013, in August, I was like, well, God or higher power, I basically, am stuck with my business. Don't know which direction I'm going, but I wish I had a business that could inspire people. This is a business I started with. I don't have an inspiring story. Be careful of what you ask for, people, right? So after that, it became really specific because December, the last 2 weeks of December, I wasn't feeling well. Long story short, I was basically diagnosed with cancer. So at that time, I was like, okay, because people often told me, you will never stop going and going and going until you're given time out. So that was my time out. And it was, at that time, it gave me a lot of perspective. And I'm like, listen to your body, woman, or listen to what you're feeling. So that's when I started like moving forward after that. Paying attention to the signs of stress, overwhelm, and having that time out and teaching myself that it's okay to take a break because sometimes I can be really hard on myself and go like push, 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 and I could sleep and still dream of the checklist, right? You all have that?
Far too
but
often.
yeah, often, right? But then I really had to find a way to tune this out. And folks, if you're tuning in and resonating what we're sharing right here, drop in your stories. We would love to see what your story is all about. If I'm sure somebody can resonate to that. So that was my story. So move forward a few years later, I'm like, be careful of what you ask for. And I became more specific in my ask. So there we go. That's my story. Boop, boop.
Yeah, Zeph, and you mentioned having Zeph goosies. I obviously can't have Zeph goosies, but I
You have to
really
be a goosey.
could feel resonance with what you're talking about because my story is not so different. I had just had a baby. I had just started in my new practice. At the time, this practice was new to me. Um, I I was trying to grow our business because we were, how it is when you're new to a practice, you have to get your name known, you have to get out there. So I was networking at the morning networking, the lunchtime networking, the after hours, I was there too. I was everywhere. Zeph, I think that's when I met you for the first time because I was networking across the state, like
Yep.
anywhere they would be
Yep.
having networking, I was there. If somebody said, "Hey, can you speak at?" I was like, "Yep." Didn't even wait to hear what they wanted me to speak about or
Before they
where.
finish the sentence.
I,
Yes.
I was I was on it. Of course, my body was not 100% in line with that. And of course, I just had a baby. So, guys, I'm only telling you this story because I really now, in looking back at it, see that there's an opportunity for me to grow, certainly. But if you can learn from my mistakes, that would be awesome because I had just had a baby and I also wanted to lose the baby weight, wasn't losing it. And so I decided to go train for the Hartford Marathon on top of all of what was going on. My body broke
Wow.
down.
Yep.
7 doctors
Absolutely.
later and 2 surgeries later, we finally figured out I had an autoimmune condition which I had caused because of overstress. We're
Yep.
sharing this information with you guys not because we wanna get you to think, "Woe is me." We're sharing it because Oprah likes to say, if you don't take the feather, you're going to get the hammer. And we'd like to share this message so that you can stop overdoing and you can give
Absolutely.
yourself permission to take a break and you can take a day off and feed yourself, feed your soul, and stop pouring from an empty cup, which waste of time, by the way. Barb, anything to
Absolutely.
add to this?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, it was just was it October? I was prepping for a summit that we were going to put on, that we were putting on, and I was just in full blown like, gotta go. My story is not that different. I mean, there are differences, of course, from Zeph's, but um, yeah, I was just go, go, go because I felt like I got to keep bringing in that money. I got to keep saying yes, say yes to everything, and keep showing up and doing all the things and serving everybody I can. Again, it's that heart for just giving. Just I
Yep.
want to help everybody. But then I got COVID and
There you go.
I my butt was just laid out flat. There was nothing I do. There was no energy to be had. And normally I can figure out a way to source some sort of energy. I'm a projector for you human design folks. I have a bit of a way to create some energy, but I had none to give. And this just taught me so much, this experience to just Barb, First off, you have amazing clients who understand. That's another big thing. Having the right clients, the star clients that you have that just are like, girl, stop, rest, take a
Yep.
break. But then also just listening to your body, like you said, Davia, just listening and paying attention to those signs. It's like if you're in struggle, if you're in frustration mode, it's time to stop, take a break.
Take a break. Yep. And it's okay to take a break. Speaking of taking a breaks, everybody, we're going to take a quick 30 seconds break to kind of show you a little bit about what this show is all about and how this all patches into what we call SOW Victory Fest. So I'm going to share the website of the event. So SOW Victory Fest, if you're looking right here, you go like, what am I looking for? And you can see on the screen right now the date of the event. And if you scroll down a little bit, it'll tell you what the event is all about. So we're calling all strong, optimistic women, and that's where SOW comes from, right? And men who support them. SOW Victory Fest is a global gathering of strong, optimistic women coming together to elevate women, create a more equitable and empowered world, and celebrate the victories of female trailblazers, past, present, and future. And today, in this episode of the pre-show, because we have 10 series leading to the event, whoop whoop, right? So if you're one you can resonate, if you're a man who support us all, please take a look at the website. And today's show, this conversation revolves around one of our featured tracks at the event. It's mental health and wellness, and Dr. Davia and Barb, they both are leading this conversation, supporting mental health, going from burnout to brilliance. And in case you want to see that website right there, SOW Victory Fest, go to sowvictory.com. It's May 10 to 12. There's a lot of opportunities there, people. Just go ahead and get more information. All right, I'm going to keep quiet right now and have Dr. Davia and Barb continue this. Whoop, whoop. We have a few more minutes. So if you have any questions, be sure to drop them in comments. Bye. See you in a bit.
Yeah, thanks, Zeph, for sharing about our upcoming summit. I'm really looking forward to that. One of the things that I would like for us to do with any conversation that we have is to have some takeaways. So I'm saying, and Barb is saying, and Zeph is saying that for women, this is a huge issue. The burnout and the stress that comes with the being a woman, the being heart centered, the doing too much, the over giving and not taking care of ourselves. And so I wanted to have us have a little discussion around these 5 steps that I have personally found have been helpful to reminding me, kind of pulling myself back from the edge sometimes, because even the person who knows better, and I feel like I should know better, the person who knows better doesn't always do better. But if we have these 5 touch points, these 5 steps that we can pay attention to every single day, then I'm thinking that maybe we can all be healthier. We can be less burnt out. We can be more brilliant. So,
These steps are so good. So good.
step 1 for me starts with, and because I tend to be a little bit more spiritual in my outlook, but it might be different for you. But step 1 for me is to form a picture in your mind. It always has to start with a picture, and it doesn't have to be a spirituality issue. It can be just a visualization issue, because even athletes, before they go into their games, they visualize what they want it to look like. So I'm inviting you, as step 1, form a picture in your mind of what your life would look like if it was ideal, if you didn't have all these stressors, if you had as much support as you needed for all the things that you need. And you might even want to journal around that. Like, really set up a manifesto of what the stress-free life looks like for you, what that brilliant life looks like for you, instead of continuing on that path to burnout. What do you think, Barb? How does that sound for you?
That visualization to me is super, super key to, I mean, you know what you're looking for, because I have a saying, and I don't know if it was, I don't know, the saying that I have that I love is, if you see it, you believe it. If you believe it, you become it. And there, that envisioning practice, just the visualization, again, whether you're spiritual, religious or not, really helps you to identify, to know where you're headed. And then you can kind of help break down those steps to get there. I think it's
Yeah.
powerful.
I think you have to start there. If you don't know where you're going, any road can lead you there, right? But if you know exactly what you would like, what you want, take some time to know what's important for you. Steps 2 and 3, I feel like they go hand in hand because they are practice and process. And so I don't want you to, on the day when you go into doctor number 7 to get that diagnosis that you have an autoimmune disease, or on the day when you get that diagnosis from your doctor that you have cancer or you have COVID or whatever it is that, that hammer that comes hitting you to say, you've got to take a break. You need to practice before you get there. You can't wait until that day. So practice has to do with building that muscle, building that inner strength so that on the days when it's rough, on the days when you need it, you can pull on that inner strength. And for me, the practices that I put in place all tend to happen in the morning just because that's when I have time, but it can be any time for you. And for me, I get up, I do some gratitude practices, I do some movement, I take some time to do some meditation. I take some time to listen to something or read something inspirational, and it sort of sets me up for the day. And it's not just doing it as a rote thing that I do every day, but I really try to embody it. And what I find, guys, just take my word for this. Just try it for 30 days and you'll see how it turns out on the other side. Because on the days when I don't do it, I can feel the difference in my day. Barb, what about
Okay.
you? Do you have any practices that you do?
Yes, mine is actually kind of similar to yours. I can tell a difference whenever I do it. So what I do is I get up in the morning and I meditate. There's no set time for me to really meditate. I just do it. Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, sometimes 15, 30, whatever feels aligned. It depends on how I wake up that morning. How do I feel? Do I need a little bit more grounding? Because sometimes it's just one of those days that a girl goes through, right? So I
Just
got to
one of
drop my
those
songs in there.
days. Just one of those days.
But I
SWV.
okay. But I'll meditate. I may pull a card to kind of give me a little bit of guidance on what to look out for that day. But a lot of times what I'm doing, again, it doesn't have to be a spiritual or religious practice. It's just tuning in and kind of, getting pushing out that noise that up here that just kind of goes on, those anxieties that just kind of those fears, those doubts, and all of that swirls up there and kind of can tend to paralyze you. This practice of meditating or pulling a card, journaling, but my favorite is the gratitude practice because for me, that's where things started really, really shifting is focusing on what am I grateful for right now? And that could be just 5 things a day that I'm just kind of like writing down mentally or physically, whatever. That gratitude practice has shifted things tremendously. I'm able to see things in a different light. I'm able to even manifest more things to be grateful for. So I think this is such a powerful practice as well.
Yeah. So, step 1, visualize it. Step 2, 2 and 3, practice and process. For step 3, guys, I'm a physician. I'm always going to come back to your health and wellness because the truth of the matter is you could be as mentally stable as the best of us, but if you're not taking care of your physical body, it's not going to be a good balance. And so, my reminder to us always is going to be make sure that we're tuning into things like getting enough sleep. I was guilty of that because my baby, when we when that story I mentioned before, my baby, he never slept through the night, not even one time for 18 months straight. So add to all of this, I wasn't getting any sleep at all because I was working all day and then up with him all night. Obviously,
Oof.
my body was going to break down, right? Hydration. So many of us, we don't drink enough water, just plain unadulterated water. Make sure that you're getting enough hydration because that's how your body gets rid of all sorts of toxins. You want to pay attention to what it is that you're eating. And I'm not going to go into, you know, all of that with you today. We can always have a conversation about that at some other time. You want to make sure you're getting movement every single day. You want to move your body. We're not made to be sedentary, we're actually made for movement. So get to moving. And I'm not sending you to go run a marathon like I did. Even getting out to gardening or taking a walk, that's fine. Walking your dog, whatever it is, And I always recommend, knowing, learning a little bit about supplementation as well, because for very many of us, adding some things to our diet can also help to support us. So that's my thing 4. And then my thing 5 is, guys, you got to watch the people. You got to watch the people, because it could be friends, it could be family, it could be work, but negativity can come into your life, into your heart, into your mental space through the people that you have around you. There's some people that there is no way to remove them from your life, but you can make a decision about how you interact with them or how you react to the energy that they're bringing. And so you definitely want to tune in to the people that you have around you. Zeph, those are my 5.
Hallelujah.
So good.
I'm such a people person. So whenever somebody says people, I almost feel like it's a prompt for me to show up, right? People.
People.
The
There's a song
people.
for that too.
How's this for visualization, people? Because I figured, hey, visualize some fireplace we're at, right? And go like,
So warm. Thank you.
It's like, that's part of the meditation, right? So absolutely do that. We need that. Hello. Absolutely. So folks, if you're tuning in, first of all, thank you, Davia and Barb, for oh my God, those Jay was saying, okay, let me just read some of the comments, right? So I just want to do a quick shout out to Pam, who's here with us. Hi, Pam. Pam was asking, this is good. What are the 4 tracks? And she finally found it because I said, go to the website. And she says, so yes, people, the 4 tracks that we have are at our SOW Victory Fest in May is mental health and wellness, diversity, equity, and inclusion, leadership, and community collaboration. And guess what? Who's the community and collaboration ambassador? Dr. Davia! Whoop, whoop! That's it. We're so happy. And Jay was saying right here, meditate, tuning in and pushing out those noises. Not always easy, but we work hard to do that. I love that. Any last thoughts before we go? Because, there's so much to share, right? Because mental health and wellness, especially now, is such an important topic. So folks, be sure to check out our event coming up in May. And this is the information. SOW Victory Fest 2022. That's the website that you can go and get more information. Yes, we have already opened up registration, so you can take a look at all that. One of the things that I want to kind of share a little bit is our call to speakers. The information that we have on the website will tell you we're looking for the following keynote speaker, presenter, creative facilitators, and apply by March 31st, 2022. That's the link you can go to. And this show, it has been all about supporting mental health, going from burnout to brilliance with Dr. Davia and Bob Pritchard. Whoop, whoop. I think I covered it all. Whoop, whoop. Any last words from you both? Maybe something that they can take away and integrate. We are talking about integration. So here's my number 3 for everybody. Integration, people, and implementation.
Yep, I'm all about implementation and integration. There's so many times we learn all these things online through summits and things like that, workshops, reading books, but they sit somewhere in our head, but they don't get integrated into our bodies. So I would say, remember the 5 things. 1, you definitely want to be able to picture it. 2 and 3, you want to practice it every day so it becomes a strong muscle, and you want to decide which practices or processes are going to work for you. You want to take care of your own personal plant, your body, make sure you're nice and healthy, and of course you want to watch what kind of people do you have around you. Those are my 5 steps.
People. Barb, your last few your integration and implementation.
Davia's got a great quiz that can help you figure out what kind of energy that you're in. Davia, can you kind of go into that quiz a little bit? Because I think that would be a great way for folks to integrate and implement.
It's not one size fits all, guys. Everybody has a different energy level. And so I would invite, and I'm going to ask Zeph to drop the link to the quiz. Just go and see what's your energy level and how can you best use your energy to be the best version of you out there. And so that you won't burn out, but you'll be brilliant.
And I do rent out my energy, folks. If I could jar it up, I will jar it up and send it to you. And I will go to Barb and help me brand it.
Girl, I got you. I got you.
All right, everybody. Everything that you need to know about SOW Victory Fest, that's the website you go to, and that's the hashtag you can follow for SOW Victory Fest 2022. And that's it, people. For me, integration and implementation is so important. It does not take like a big grand step. Little baby steps, right? Because little baby steps is where we get to our victorious moment. Woo!
That's right. That's right.
All right, everybody. This has been an episode of SOW Victory Fest 2022's pre-show. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out to us, our team members, on that website on the screen right now. Until next episode, we are here Thursdays, and check out all our schedule on the website. Until then, thank you all. Be sure to follow us on social media. You go to the website, you'll get that information. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, Dr. Davia and Barb. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.